Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the all-new 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning. We're going to be getting into the specs a little bit with this truck, but I've already made a detailed video on that. But mainly we're going to be talking about the crazy prices on the new Lightning that are going to be happening from dealerships, and also, how you'd be able to get a Lightning, and also if you're even going to be able to get one, right? All that stuff. I know it sounds like it's all over the place. Trust me, kind of will be a little bit, but let's just pop right into the video. So let's give a quick refresher here on the new Lightning. So first off, it's Ford's all new electric truck, fully electric. It's built off an F-150, and it sounds pretty cool. It's gonna have well over 200 miles of range. The base powertrain is gonna have 426 horsepower. You can get an upgraded powertrain with 563 horsepower. Torque is the same though, 775 with each of the powertrains. But it's going to have crazy acceleration again, especially for a half-ton truck. It's going to be capable from a towing and payload capacity perspective, and just overall, it's going to be a really solid truck. And it's going to be Ford's entrance into the fully electric truck segment. That being said, there are production issues happening right now, and there's a lot of people that reserved this new Lightning, and there's not a lot that are going to be built, especially the first year. So first off, let's kind of get into some numbers. So in terms of reservations, there's well over 160,000 reservations for the new Lightning. Now, Ford's doing a similar thing with the Lightning as they did with the Bronco, rather, where you basically can reserve the vehicle, and then once there is an allocation available for your reservation, the dealership reaches out to you, and then you put in your actual order, and then the vehicle comes in. And so just because you put in a reservation doesn't guarantee you're going to get a vehicle ever, pretty much, right? And I'll kind of get into that in a little bit. But it just gives you a spot in line to potentially be able to order a vehicle. Now, that being said, again, 160,000 people for the first year, and of course Zipper is going to jump off. Now, production for the first year, Ford is guessing maybe 15,000 trucks, maybe. And then 2023, 55,000 trucks, and then 2024, 80,000 trucks. And so you guys can see in the first few years, they're still not even going to meet the reservation demand. So again, even if you have a reservation in, that doesn't guarantee that you're actually going to get a truck whatsoever. And so dealerships obviously are well aware of this, and they saw how great the situation was with the Ford Bronco. And so a similar situation is going to be happening with the F-150 Lightning with markups. There's already dealerships that are posting $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 markups over MSRP for the new Lightning. And so even though this is poised to be this affordable, fully electric pickup truck that is supposed to shake up the segment, in reality, it's not going to be that way to start off with, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel. So the first thing that I want to mention is this isn't going to be every single dealership, right? Some dealerships just refuse to charge over MSRP ever, right? One of the dealerships I film with, for example, Ed Kenley Ford up in Layton, Utah, they don't charge over MSRP for any vehicle, doesn't matter, and they have kept that all throughout the entire pandemic. And they even sell specialty vehicles. They work with Tuscany, so they've got, the Shelby products, right? The Shelby F-150s and Super Duties and all that fun stuff, and they never charged over MSRP for any of them. They just did them all at sticker, which is pretty crazy, because especially after the pandemic, there's a lot of dealers that were, especially like specialty products like the Shelby products, that were charging $50,000 to $100,000 over sticker price, because they're able to get it right now in this market. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, that's the first little light at the end of the tunnel. Is there are Ford dealers that will never charge over MSRP, so you just got to do some digging, find a Ford dealer that you can work with. But the other thing I'd have to say is you better already have a reservation put in. Because if you don't already have a reservation put in, then, right, unless you were one of the, first 15,000 people that were to put a reservation in, you're probably not going to get a truck the first year. And then, like I said, 55,000 2023 is what they're guessing, and then 80,000 2024. So yeah, if you don't already have a reservation in, I'm not saying that you'll never get a truck, but you'll have to wait several years before you get a truck, unless you want to pay a premium, because that's the next thing I want to get into, is buying one used. That's another way to get one, but the used market on these trucks is going to be just crazy, right? Used cars already have inflated by over almost 40% rather since March of 2020. And so a new specialty vehicle that's coming out from a manufacturer, especially Ford, is going to go crazy on the used market. So I would expect these trucks used, just like the Broncos, to be going for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over a sticker. You guys know that I had a Bronco on order, and I'm just being honest. Like, I went and sold it, and I sold it for $15,000 over sticker, and then it got sold again to someone else for another $5,000 over sticker. And so my Bronco that I ordered ended up selling to the current owner for $20,000 over sticker price, which is actually pretty tame for the Bronco market, because a lot of those first editions were selling for $30,000-$40,000 over sticker at a certain point, but everything's kind of calmed down a little bit. And that's another point that I'm going to make is, if you're patient and just watch the market, the values on the F-150 Lightning might calm down substantially, because the hype behind the truck will calm down, right? Once deliveries start happening again, this is assuming that you don't have a pre-order in. Once deliveries start happening, people start getting the truck and then realizing that it's not, I'm not saying it's a bad truck. I'm sure this truck's going to be phenomenal. But, some people are just going to realize that it's not for them, right? And then they're going to start selling them, right? The market's going to be flooded with them. And you're also going to have a bunch of people that, purchased it as an investment to try to make a little bit of money. And so they're also going to flood the market with those trucks. And so next thing you know, the value is going to come down. That's exactly what's happened with the Bronco. Is a bunch of people order the Bronco, and again, I think it's an amazing vehicle, but it's not for everyone. And a lot of people that ordered it, right, decided, this isn't exactly for me, and then they see the overinflated values too, and so they're like, you know what, I'm going to sell it. And so then they try to sell it, and then you have a bunch of people that bought it as an investment, and then they go sell it, and then the market got flooded, and Bronco values are still over MSRP, but they tanked a massive amount. I remember before my first edition came in, Broncos, the transaction value for most Broncos was well over six figures. It was like $40,000 over sticker price on average. And then, the market got, or Ford produced a few more Broncos, and then the values dropped a drastic amount. And then they went from $40,000 to the transaction price being $10,000 to $20,000. And now there's a lot of Broncos that are selling for MSRP or a little bit above. And so the market's kind of leveled out. And I think the same thing's going to happen with the Lightning. So just be patient, ride it out, and you'll probably be able to find a used one for around MSRP after quite some time, if you don't already have a pre-order in. But I guess the biggest point that I'm going to make is, I think this is going to I don't think it's going to run the Lightning. I think that in a few years it's going to be a really good truck, and it's really going to shake up the electric truck world that's starting to grow. But I think the initial launch of the Lightning is not going to be what Ford wants it to be, because of these dealer markups and everything. Because again, Ford is trying to push that this is going to be, an every man's electric truck. It's not going to be the Tesla Cybertruck that's unaffordable. It's not going to be any of the other trucks, like the Rivian R1T, that's also, unaffordable for a lot of people, because it's over $70,000, right? Because the base model Lightning is going to start at around $40,000, and then a fully loaded one is right $90,000, very expensive. But there's still that affordable base model. But I mean, you tack on 20, 30 grand onto $40,000, and then you're up at the price of a fully loaded one after markup. So I think that's going to kind of muddy things a little bit. But I think then like I said, values will even out, and then the truck will make a lot more sense for a lot more people. And then I think Ford will accomplish what they ultimately wanted to accomplish with the Lightning, is making a mainstream, fully electric truck. But what I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below is, obviously, do you have a Lightning on order? Is the dealership now trying to charge you way over MSRP for your order? And if it's a truck that you are even interested in seeing, or if you're like, whatever, I don't like electric vehicles. I know some of you are like that. But yeah, that's going to sum things up for today's video. I will see all of you in that next video.